What is going on, guys? Miss Chris Wu back with part 2 of our Wishlist series. I'm back with Brandon and Roland, and we're going to discuss some game modes today. So the first one I got on my list is online team play, which is a big thing I think they have missing from back in the day when they were at their prime. NBA Live 10, I believe, had this system, which is much different than 2K. Of course, you know, 2K has the all-star team up where you choose all-stars from past and present, and you basically you just race to get what you get a position. Similarly, the racing type thing happens in NBA Live 10, but what's different is that you choose the team. Someone will randomly be chosen to be the captain, basically, and they choose the team. Once the teams are set, then it'll do the countdown timer and they will choose a position. So if you're smart and you say you chose the Cavs, someone's gonna, obviously most of the people are gonna race to LeBron when you could just get a role player. Like, you get Kyrie, you can get JR, and you'll be content with that instead of trying to race and get Bron. So I think it's a pretty good system. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really play NBA Live that much to know what you're talking about, but I mean, I have dabbled with it a little bit, and I like the All-Star or whatever you create your player, but I just want it to be more realistic. I'm not saying be more like 2K, but I mean, at least they have a storyline, and I think, in my opinion, I feel like that's what people buy the game is for the career mode, and my part mainly. So I mean, if NBA Live wants to compete with 2K, I feel like they need to add something to that.
I feel you. I have on here that they should like add a lot more customization. They have like sleeves and tattoos, but they don't have like enough. And then in terms of your play style is one thing, but you can't choose your shooting style, you can't choose your dribbling style, you can't choose anything. 2K has fadeaways and dunk packages and all this stuff. So they had it in 10, kind of. You couldn't it wasn't like you go down a list of like 50. It was just like, do you want it to be like T-Mac, do you want it to be like LeBron? Which is at least at the start. If they wanted to do that, that's better than nothing. So, but other than that, I think they have the accessory game down and the shoes. But like Roland, I think you wanted to talk about tattoos. Like he was saying. Yeah.
Yes, they have about, I'd say, I haven't really counted, but there's around 10 tattoo styles. And then there's another style based off of that style that's like half this style, and then full that style, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe 20-ish. Add some diversity, you know, like you can fix the placement on it. Like, 'cause once you pick it, it's there on your arm. You don't get to fix it around. Like, maybe you want that tattoo that's up on your shoulder down to your forearm, like,
yeah,
that'd be nice to do, like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, definitely feel you. And then I want to talk about some more broad things. These might not necessarily be a wish for this year's game in 16, but definitely in 17, 18, stuff like that. It's just an idea thrown out there that instead of trying to market NBA Jam game like they had this in Elite 11, where they were going to include basically a light version of NBA Jam where you could play online and then play with the regular team. So the 3 versions of NBA Jam in the game. So like, instead of trying to match like all these different game modes of 2K, they can still have their career mode where and then your team up and all that stuff, but then you have your NBA Jam mode so that people can play that there if they want to. And then even further than that, a lot of people don't really think about it, but NBA Jam was probably back in the early 2000s one of the more successful EA games, if not the most successful EA game, with Street Volume 2 and NBA Street. So if they put a version of that to like a blacktop version, so create a player or not, even if you don't create a player, just have a street version of a game, so it's not the same, necessarily the same gameplay mechanics. But they put that in there so that you can compete online, and it's less of a simulation and more arcade. Instead of taking the approach of 2K where it's using the same mechanics, just the reality of it all is bumped up a notch, and then that causes for unbalanced 7-2 guys that are just as good as point guards. Like, it's just a mess. Any opinions on that? Like the idea, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, can you repeat that?
I'm just basically talking about NBA Jam and NBA Street, man. And instead of trying to make a separate game for the future, just blend them into one.
Well, I never really messed around with NBA Live or Street or anything, or not Live, Jam or Street or something, so I mean, I couldn't really give you my opinions on something like that.
Well, what about you?
Come on, let's be real now. I honestly think that's a bad idea. Maybe the NBA Jam, you know, you could throw that in there. But the NBA Street, that game series was just spectacular. I don't think you should throw that into an NBA Live title.
Well, it did kind of die out with home court. V3 and home court weren't very successful. So if you think about it, it's not like they have been like a great franchise forever. Like, they had off years. They had 2 good games, and then the rest of their games weren't very good. So, like, to spark interest in it, doesn't have to be a full-on version of the game, but at least like an online mode, and it doesn't even have to have like the story progression part of it. It just can be a online and like quick game. You know, like there'll be the mini games and then the quick games and then the multiplayer. It's just a vision. I mean, odds are that it actually happens ever are like never. It's never gonna happen. But this is a wish list video, man. If you have a dream, what's your opinion? If EA wants to make the money, that's what they'll do.
So can I go back to the like career mode?
Yeah.
All right. So.
No.
Well, I'm more of like, when it comes to sporting games, I like a good story mode that goes along with it. So, I'm a big time Madden fan, so that's a whole different story. But I wish they were to do a game mode as well, like a story. But when it comes to 16, like I said, I like where they're going with it, and if they were to put in a good, solid mode to where it has a storyline behind it, I feel like I would like the game a lot more. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would too. So
yeah, I feel you.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
And like we were talking about before this video, I think we all agree that we don't want it to be the same for every person that plays the game.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I don't mean to interrupt you, but if they were to make it realistic too, so let's say you go hard in the rookie showcase or something, like, why can't you go number 1? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, I've dropped like 70 points before, and I went like 6th overall. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
I should be known as the next like LeBron or something if I drop 60. But they want to be picking me 6th overall. That's just not realistic to me. If you can go number 1 and then you actually get like you get playing time as a number 1 overall, then that would be, that would be good too. And let's say like your decisions that you make throughout the story mode, that will affect the whole story mode in general. So not everybody has the same old story mode. So
Yeah, I like that idea. I guess remains to be seen if they're actually going to do that, and we probably won't find out till like a week before the game comes out. But if they do like cutscenes and stuff, but I definitely think there's room for improvement there. And Rising Star, it's probably the weakest mode. Do you have anything about Ultimate Team mode?
Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
Ultimate Team. That's probably EA's top game mode to me. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing. That's probably the first thing I run to.
So there's no improvements, or
NBA Live's Ultimate Team. It's nice. It's fun. But when I place someone up on the market and they're not selling, I would like to take them off the market. Like maybe I put 12 hours in. I see he's been up there for 6 hours and no one's even good. I would like to take him off the market and put him back on my roster. Or maybe place him again for a lower price.
I feel you.
That would be...
Or the ability to direct trade with your friends.
Yes.
So
Not just your friends. Like in Madden, you post a trade up and you can trade with anyone. Anyone can send you a trading request. That's a nice thing. Like maybe my friend pulls a pack and he gets a player I want and he doesn't really need. Maybe he wants to negotiate for a player he wants off the mic, and that would be really good.
yeah, I agree. I think we covered basically everything in game modes. I couldn't imagine them doing anything much more. Maybe a connected franchise, like so you could have it with your friends, or online franchise that doesn't work in 2K at all. It doesn't work. The ability to do a fantasy draft.
If you do get an online franchise, please let us fantasy draft. And
it's basically pointless to do. Yeah, it's basically pointless to do an online franchise and have the unbalanced teams. Like, fantasy draft is a must.
Let us have maybe a 12 team league. You know what I'm saying? Like don't make it mandatory 30 teams.
Yep, gotcha. Or I mean, even if it's just a tournament mode, like a tournament mode with draft, that's better than nothing. And 2K's does not, like, their franchise doesn't work. I mean, I guess it works in the sense that you could literally do a franchise with 32 people if you want. Or 30 people, sorry. But I mean, yeah, I think that's it for our wishlist video. I think we had a pretty good discussion. If you have anything else to add, please leave it down in the comments below. We will have one more part to the series that we will put out as soon as possible. If you could like the video right now, that would be amazing. And subscribe if you have not already.
Later, y'all.
Mr.
That was good.
I'm out. Peace.